To the killer, who may be in this room, we believe you are hiding in plain sight.
Keep your babies close to you. There's someone out there.
What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's missing person case is Don. Also, today's person of interest is Olivia. Today's missing person case is today's missing person case is Corey.
What's going on there, man? We have a kidnapping. Hurry, please, Wayne.
What's up, Mob Crew? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Chris with Monsters Under Our Bed. I cover murder, mystery to the paranormal. And today we're going to do some updates on the Idaho 4 students. And then we'll also, second half, we'll cover some updates on the Delphi case. But for those that might be new to the channel, before we get started, I always like to cover the missing. So today we have Jessica Vansant Dietzel. I hope I pronounced that right. She went missing from Albany, Georgia. She went missing on February 16th, 2020. So she's been missing for a couple of years now. Was 21 years old when she went missing. She has hazel eyes, blonde hair. She does have multiple tattoos. One you can see here above her chest here. And if there's any information, you can contact 920-544-7015. Went missing in Albany, Georgia. And one more real quick. And this is Jance Wesley Verilia. He went missing this year in June 1st. He's 40 years old. He is a tall fella. He's 6'4", 140 pounds. Brown hazel eyes, salt and pepper hair. Was recently diagnosed with a brain tumor, sadly, in May. But he is friendly and easy to approach. He went missing in Fort Collins, Colorado. If you have any information, please call 970-498-5100. So I just want to get that out of the way. Happy holidays to everybody. I hope everyone had a safe Thanksgiving. And a safe Black Friday. I don't do Black Friday. I stick to, thank goodness for Cyber Monday, because Black Friday, I did that once at a Best Buy, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. So, let's see. So we'll start with the Idaho students. But before I get started, though, quickly, just a shout out to my sponsor, My Patriot Supply. I'm going to quickly play their ad real quick, and then we'll get digging in.
What's up, Mob Crew? How would you like to feel better about what you put into your
Mob
body?
Crew and
This
friends.
all-new product called Liquid IV is taking hydration to the
Mob Crew and friends. Are you prepared for the widespread food shortages ahead? Farmers have been warning us for months, but are we listening? They say it's beyond their control, especially with the fertilizer crisis. Bottom line, food shortages will be a harsh reality very soon. That's why you should get ready now with emergency food. from My Patriot Supply. And good news, today you'll save 20% on their 3-month food kit. These kits provide delicious, easy-to-make breakfasts, lunch, dinner, snacks, drinks for one person for 3 solid months. Get one for each member of your family while you're able to save 20% during this timely sale. Remember, My Patriot Supply is the nation's largest preparedness company with millions of families already protected. These 3-month food kits, which average 2,000 calories a day, are in stock and ready to go. Your order ships fast and free and arrives in unmarked boxes. Go to preparewithwww.preparewiththemobcrew.com. Those who know what's coming are already prepared. Are you? Prepare with www.preparewiththemobcrew.com. Thank you so much.
So shout out to My Patriot Supply for sponsoring today's live show. All right, quickly, before we get started, let me just quickly shout out to all my mods. Thank you guys so much for all the hard work. And Kayla for becoming a member. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And I just get one more here. Will, I saw your message. Yes, I will get to your email. I've been behind just because with the holidays, but I will, as soon as as a matter of fact, if we play a video, I'll see if I can jump over and look at your email. There's one more to get to. Oh gosh, it went by so fast. Elbows Mom, I saw you in there. Oh, there you are. So weird. I've been a member for so much longer, but hi. Member for 5 months. I think sometimes, yeah, when you renew, yeah, it does like restart it. Plus, with all the updates with YouTube, there's been so many bugs. That does not surprise me. But thank you so much for supporting the channel for as long as you have. That's so awesome. You guys are amazing. All right, so let's get started. We'll play just a quick little news clip. And then what I have for today is, just in case if you missed the press conference, which was a couple of days ago, wasn't anything really new. It was pretty much the same as the first two, but I basically got all the like tidbits, highlights from it written down. And so we'll go over that. And then also the floor plan. A guy put out this video. His name is Johnny Law. He's got a YouTube channel, and I've got the link to his channel in the description. He goes through the layout of the entire home. It's actually quite interesting. And so I took a few screenshots of his video where he kind of made some diagrams. And so I thought we'd kind of go over that and just look, because I was kind of surprised at the layout. Because, you know, we always see pictures of outside with them, you know, the crime scene investigators, but to actually look inside of it and see the floor plan. And so, yeah, we'll go over that. But first, let's play a news clip real quick.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. Tonight, 5 days after the attack on 4 college students near the University of Idaho campus, just into our newsroom here shortly, we are learning new details from the Latah County Coroner's Office. However, we still have many remaining questions. Now, tonight we have team coverage of this breaking news. Amanda Rowley live at the house on King Road where those bodies were found with new details on this murder investigation. Janelle Finch is also in Moscow tonight with how the community is reacting. First, though, we turn to Mark Hanrahan, who is joining us here in the KREM 2 studio with what we've learned from the coroner's office this afternoon. Mark? Yeah, good afternoon to you, Whitney. In the last hour, we received the cause and manner of death for all 4 murder victims. So take a look at this new information right here. The cause of death for Ethan, Kaylee, Xana, Madison, it's all listed as murder by stabbing. All were pronounced dead at noon on Sunday. Moscow police did say yesterday that all victims had been stabbed. The autopsy report confirms this, and it's now a murder investigation. What we still don't know, based on this report, is what time the victims were found. We don't know where in the home they were stabbed, where they were in the house, or if any of them fought back. We don't know who called 911. We don't know if one victim seemed to be more of a target than the others.
So this obviously was, I I think day 5 when this video came out. So it's kind of old, but just something to kind of recap. You pull up. So there were 6 roommates in this one house on Kings Road. And so the 4, unfortunately, was Ethan Chapman, Xana Kernodle, Madison, Mogan, and Kaylee Gonkaus. Ethan was from Conway, Washington. He went to Mount Vernon High School. He played basketball and tennis before graduating last year. Now he was going to University of Idaho. He was a triplet. His brother and sister, obviously, that are his twins, go to University of Idaho as well. And then Xana, so Ethan was dating Xana. Xana was a junior from Post Falls. She majored in marketing and College of Business and Economics and was a member of Pi Beta Pi. And then we have Madison, who goes by Maddie. She was a senior from marketing, was a senior marketing major at University of Idaho. She did work as a server at the Mad Greek in Moscow, Idaho, with her friend Kernodle. And she is also childhood friends with Kaylee on the right. Kaylee was a senior majoring in general studies and in the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Science. And she had also worked as a barista at Jitters Espresso. So that's just kind of a recap on their background. Thank you so much, Michelle, for the $4 super sticker. You're so awesome. I saw a comment in here I want to get. Yeah, the press conferences, they have been very lackluster, unfortunately. So there's also 2 other roommates that live there, and that is Dylan, who is a female, Dylan and Bethany. And they, 2 of them, oops, let me go back here. So just to recap on the timeline, Ethan and Xana were home pretty much after, just before midnight. Kaylee and Maddie, they went to a grub truck sometime between 1 and 1:30, and then arrived sometime around the residence about 1:45, which is at the 1122 King Road. And then the murders possibly took place between 3 and 4. And then the 911 call was made just before noon on that Sunday. So let me catch up. There's the footage from the grub truck. They say that this guy's been cleared, and I believe the guy in the hoodie who kind of shadows the 2 girls has been cleared as well. The other interesting thing is the 9 calls that were made to this Jack, who is an ex-boyfriend. 6 calls came from Kaylee, and then 3 came from Maddie, all in between 2:26 a.m. and 2:52 a.m. But the family has come out and said that they don't think Jack has anything to do with this case. They say, they literally are quoted as saying that they believe he is 2,000% innocent, but it is odd that they would make so many phone calls in that 26 minutes. Usually someone made a interesting comment saying that it's kind of odd that they would try to make calls in that time frame instead of just texting. So I think that's kind of interesting. Let me get caught up here. Yes, okay, so there were 10 calls. Yeah, so it's weird. I've got 6 by Kaylee and 3 by Madison. So interesting, Nancy. I have seen the 10. Do we know if it was 7 by Kaylee or 4 by Maddie, or was there a third person that called Jack? Who is Jack D? Let's put Jack D, because I think there's 3 Jacks. So moving on, detectives, as far as what they need help from the public, is that they need anybody that has surveillance from 3 to 6 a.m., which is interesting because I've been going up and down all the roads, and I have found a couple of places that do have security cameras. And if we get a chance, we'll look at that. Just checking to see. One of the comments I wanted to read. Sorry, I might have to slow down chat here in just a minute. Let me know how the chat is, mods. I may have to slow it down. It's kind of fast on my end here. Jennifer, I will answer the phone at 2 a.m. more than 8 a.m. Yeah, I think it's interesting to make those phone calls, but they say that the family believes that this Jack guy has nothing to do with it. And then the 911 call was about an unconscious person, and that came from either the surviving roommates, but they said that there was other people, and this came from the second conference, that there was more than just the 2 surviving roommates. Apparently maybe their friends had showed up early that morning, so there was more than just the 2 surviving there that morning. So, but they still they are not going to release the 911 call. The students were unfortunately stabbed to death with a large knife. They believe possibly a K-bar. Most of the stabs were delivered to the upper torso area. Okay, we'll come back to those. So the 2 surviving roommates are Dylan and Bethany. They were supposedly... Now this is kind of interesting. Well, this is why when I found this Johnny Law's YouTube channel, it's interesting because he shows Dylan being on the 2nd floor, but I don't know. I only got to watch the video. The video is like, I think it's like 20 to 30 minutes long. I only got to watch like the first 10-15 minutes because I'd found it just like maybe 30 minutes before we went live, so I didn't get to like watch the whole thing. So but he seems like a really does his research. So here's some just new photos that came out. They're saying that these photos may have been posted the night of the murders. There we got Ethan. Not sure who this guy is, and his girlfriend, and then another friend. This is from Dylan's social media page, and this is one of the surviving roommates. Looks like she's with Maddie. This is Dylan here. Once again, we got Dylan and I believe Maddie. And then this was one that was posted, and this is they're saying this was posted not too long before the murders, but I'm not 100% sure on this. But this is the 2 with tattoos. So they do have a video of a TikTok video that shows kind of like the girls kind of playing around, and they're like imitating each other, and it shows the inside of the house. So we'll play that in just a minute. But just to go over the press conference, that was very lackluster, which pretty much most of this information, if you followed this case, it's the same. But we'll just kind of go down the list here of the highlights. So confirmed 2 bodies on the 2nd floor, 2 bodies on the 3rd floor, 4 victims stabbed. Confirmed boyfriend not involved. That would be Jack. Nearby residents have been contacted if they've heard or seen anything. Detectives can't find any info about the Kayleys' reported stalkers so far. That was something that was interesting. So I've not figured out who this supposed stalker was. They said fixed blade knife. No release of the 911 call or the individuals that are, or the person that called 911. They're not going to release that. They also addressed this rumor again that no one was tied or gagged. They say that 103 items were collected as far as evidence, 4,000 images captured, over 1,000 tips have gone through, 150 interviews have been done, and police presence will be heavy after Thanksgiving break. And then when the people asked questions, they asked if the 911 call would be released. They said no. In the interviews, people made comments about Kaylee and how she was talked about her stalker. Once again, they have no information about this possible stalker. Someone asked if this was a murder, self-inflicted type situation, and if they were considering it. They said that they looked at it in the beginning, but they don't believe that is the case. Are they looking into an incident in Salem, Oregon case that happened a year ago? If we get time, we'll maybe look that up. They said that they got one tip about that, but they'll look into it. Bodies have been released to the family. I think there's already been at least 1 or 2 funerals. Looked at a lot of vehicles. Some vehicles at home belong to the victim, so those are the cars that are parked in front of the house. Looked at all the cars at the house and is a part of the investigation. To add on to that, they have expanded the basically the scene from just the house to kind of like the parking lot and surrounding area. There's pictures of them looking at tire marks. Somebody asked, why not tell the public who was targeted? They don't want to be flooded with irrelevant info and put the case in jeopardy. No plans to release if it was who was targeted, if they were targeted. And then unconfirmed if there's any evidence of the killer going to the first floor. So that's basically it. It was pretty much the same thing as the first 2, really. Just updated tips and stuff like that. So moving on. Now this is interesting. So Cronoldo's father, Jeffrey, told CBS previously about his daughter body having bruises. She is the one that is believed to have defensive wounds and possibly fought back. The coroner stated that 4 victims were likely asleep. Some had defensive wounds, and each was stabbed multiple times. I think my theory and a lot of people's theory is that because all the other people were single, or at least didn't have anybody with them, so with them being a couple, it's most likely they were sleeping together. And I would assume that since you've got 2 people in bed, you've got one a male, that you would go for the male first, because one or the other is going to wake up. So it's believed that Ethan was the first one to be targeted in that bedroom, and then she probably woke up and tried to fight back, and so she had defensive wounds. Gigi says, why not release the 911 call? I know, it seems a little odd, unless it has something to do with maybe who was there, that some details in that 911 call that they want to keep close to the vest. Get that. Okay, so here is a TikTok video where it kind of just shows them kind of imitating each other, and then it just kind of shows the floor plan, and then we'll look at or it shows the inside of the house, and then after we watch that, we'll check out the floor plan, because I think it's kind of interesting. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I'm gonna have to slow down chat while I play this. Miss Dog Lover says, "Love this channel, Chris. Things are dealt with very sensitively, and chat are all lovely." Yeah, I love this community. You guys are so amazing. Thank you guys so much for being respectful. It helps me out and it helps my mods out. Okay, so let's play this. Should be volume. I don't think there's volume in this particular part. Okay, here it is.
God, it smells like dirty dick in here. Murphy, you've been a bad boy. Oh my God, it's 9:10. Guys, can anybody drop me to class? I'm fucking late for my meeting. I'm supposed to be there 10 minutes ago. Did anybody do their chores today? Fuck, I'm just gonna do it. Oh, shit, you guys. It's 8. Gotta go. Jake's calling. Oh, Jake's calling. Oh my God, I look horrid. Oh, Murphy, you look so cute. Get out of here. You seriously gotta get out of here. You're fucking stinking this shit out. Okay, guys, I know I talk about myself a lot, but, like, what would you guys do in my situation? Dana, where are you going? Yeah, I gotta go to the pool. Yeah, I failed 2 of them already. Is there do like a wine night? Like, let's just do a wine night.
Yo, is it okay if I have a party? Like, just 3 or 4 people, at most.
Think anyone would drink wine?
I'll have some wine.
I didn't even think of it, really, because, you know, I'm not a big drinker, but maybe I should have something.
You're not a big drinker?
Stop. Before you do any holiday shopping this year.
So that was just a look at a TikTok video and inside the house. And it seems like they're having a lot of fun imitating each other. Close that real quick. So what's interesting is we'll look at the floor plan here. Let me pull that up and then let's see. Start with this one here. So like I said, this is from, let me put this back up. Let me know how the chat is, mods. I put it to 25. Hopefully, let me know if that's too fast or if that's just right. So this is the Johnny Law guy here at the bottom right. Oh, I'm blocking him. I'll show you him in just a minute. So he did a floor plan, which I think he kind of drew it out, and then he's got pictures, and I think it's very interesting. So what we have on the bottom here is the first floor, obviously, and it's definitely not how I thought it was detailed. So I think this is quite interesting. So you've got 2 bedrooms per floor, obviously. So you got 3 floors, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath on each level. It only has 1 kitchen and living room, and that's actually on the 2nd floor. So like the 2nd floor is really like the main floor. So it's almost like, if you think about it, it's like the 2nd floor is really kind of like the main floor, and then you would have a basement and a 2nd floor. So anyway, with the first floor, you would have the front door here, which has got the combo lock on it, which they did say that obviously all the roommates knew the code and their friends. So there's probably a lot of people. I mean, with 6 people, and then how many friends they told about the code, that's a lot of people that have potential access to just this particular door. But so as you go in, you have stairs immediately to your left right here. And then if you don't take the stairs, you basically got, excuse me, you got 2 bedrooms. You got one on the right, and then if you go down the hall around the stairs, you've got the bedroom on the left. Now I'm assuming, now I would have figured Dylan and Bethany's bedrooms would have been both down on the first floor, but he has Dylan on this 2nd floor up here, and I'm not sure what his sources are for that. So I can't confirm that is the case, but I thought that was interesting that he does actually have Dylan on the 2nd floor, because that would mean that is really a targeted attack, because if you've got one of the surviving roommates that was actually on a floor that was everyone was stabbed on. So, but I don't know if how much stock we can put into that for now. But let me go back real quick. So, because I guess you can see it here. So on the second floor, as if you were to go up the stairs, which is the main floor, really, because you've got the kitchen, your living room, and the kitchen has got the with the patio door there. Then you also have 2 bedrooms as well that are situated on each side of the floor there. Now he has Xana and Ethan in this corner here, and then he has Dylan in this corner here. Like I said, I don't know how accurate that is, but it would be interesting. Now the stairs to the second and third floor are up by this bedroom here, which is really interesting. Maybe Dylan had her bedroom door locked. But there's stairs that are just around the kitchen here, which will take you up to the third floor. And here's just, let's see, so yeah, a look at the second floor where the patio ground access is. The slider door is right here. Yeah, so he has Dylan vacant. And like I said, I didn't get to watch his whole video, so I don't know if this is Dylan's bedroom or not. I don't know if anybody can confirm in the chat. So that's what I was under the impression, because that's what we were told. So I don't know why he's got Dylan vacant right here. Like I said, I didn't get to watch the whole video, so maybe they were both down there. And maybe I just need to, like I said, I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. So here's a picture. So here's the bathroom. This would be the second floor. And you've got, is this the second? Yeah, second. No, this would be, yeah, that would be second floor. That's correct. So this would be the living room. And then you got the bathroom. And you've got the bedroom to Xana and Ethan's here. And then obviously to the left would it either be a vacant room, I guess. So here's a look at the bedroom that would have been Ethan's and Xana's. Trying to think, picture this. Yeah, this would be Ethan and Xana's bedroom here. And then here's just kind of look at the second floor. We've got the patio here. And like I said, if you're just coming in, I took some screenshots of this is Johnny Law. It's a YouTube channel. The link to his video is in the description of this video. It is quite interesting. After I'm done, if you're interested, I would go check it out. It's quite well done. Then this is the floor plan for the third bedroom, which is where Maddie, and he has Kaylee here. And so it looks pretty basic. You come up the stairs, you've got just a main hall, and then you've got a bedroom, and then you've got the, so you got 2 bedrooms obviously on each side and a bathroom. And then you've got the slider for this bedroom. So Kaylee, if it was Kaylee's bedroom, she's got the access to the patio here. Double check, yeah. So that would be the 1 bedroom here. You would have a hallway here, and then the other bedroom here, which has got the windows here. And then there's just kind of a look at all 3 floors there. Well, actually second and third here. Here's what a picture of the kitchen, the sliding door. And okay, so I think that's it. So what this is what they need help from the public, and that is any outside surveillance from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. The areas that they're interested in is West Taylor Ave, West Palouse River Drive, Highway 95 South to 2700 block, and Highway 95 Southeast boundary, and then the Arboretum and the Botanical Garden. So I was doing just a little bit of digging to see if I could see any surveillance cameras. So just kind of back out for a minute. So here is the residence where the students were living. It is a dead-end road. Basically, you have King and Queen Road, and then it dead ends here. And so the only way out would be to go Taylor Avenue, which then you could swing out this way, or come down Taylor Ave, and then there's a couple of different ways you can exit out. But what's interesting, if they did come through, they did have a vehicle, they would have to kind of come back the way they came in. So I did a little bit of looking. So they want people to check to see if they have any, cameras. If they do, check between 3 and 6 in the surrounding areas. I did see 2 places, and I'm still looking, that actually have cameras. And one of them is this Palouse River Drive that they were wondering about. And what's interesting is if we, is it right there? Yeah. So they were asking about this road, and I just happened to notice that this is a rental storage place. And it so happens is that there is a camera facing the road right here. I mean, these places always have cameras, so I'm sure they got more than just the one here. So this one looks like it's looking at the road. Kind of probably, let me back this out just a little bit. Would probably catch somebody coming or going this way here. And then this place, I don't know if this is a separate place or the same building, but they also have cameras as well. But this one doesn't look like it's reaching the road as much. It's kind of more fixated on the complex itself. But this camera here, for sure, looks like it could be possibly be used. So please don't tip that in. I have called that in. So please, I've made the mistake of amateur YouTubing and saying, gosh, do you think I should call that in? And then I have 200-300 people in my chat, and then who knows how many people go and call after the show to tip that in. So please don't tip that in. They already know about that camera. I also did find another one. Oops. Minimize this real quick. Oh, there we go. So like I said, they got the camera, let's see, right here. And then this is where the place is at. And you would have to get to Sand Road, because this is just kind of a little residential area. So the main roads, if you zoom back, you've got Sand Road, which is here. You got Highway 95, which I would think, it's probably the way that they would come back in if they were not local. But there's also on Highway 95, which is, so you got Taylor Ave right here. And it just so happens that just coming out of Taylor and Highway 95, you've got, let's see, where did I see it? Oh, there it is. Let's see if I can get a little better view of it. Oh, where are you? There you are. So, and it looks like they've got one security camera here. I know they've got like 2 or 3. Let's see, where's that other one? So they got one. It's hard to tell if it's. It looks like it's looking at the row, kind of. I mean, it looks like it's kind of looking at the entrance. So I think this area would be possibly in the view. And then there's one more. Right here, but I don't know what is going on with it. It looks like it's looking straight up. But that is a security camera. I can't tell what. I don't know, it's so weird. Unless it's floodlights. I think that's a security camera. But anyway, so they've got a couple of them on this thing. So hopefully, and then of course, gas stations. Usually right under. Let's see, Phillips 66. Usually these ones. So hopefully, maybe this guy, if they were on in a vehicle, there are quite a few security cameras that are around these places, and this. I haven't even looked further towards the university itself, but so hopefully there are enough security cameras that hopefully maybe they have captured something. They just need that time to go through them and sift through all of it. Maxie Doodle says both Dylan and Bethany first level moved in last September. Last September. So just a couple months prior to it. Interesting. Thank you so much, Rochelle, for the $1 super sticker. So awesome. Just make sure everything in the chat's going good. I didn't expect to be this busy. I thought everybody'd be out Black shopping on Black Friday. Yeah, so they did show the dog. We'll take one more look at that video because I think it's kind of a cute video, and I think they were, seemed like really lovely people. Oh, shoot. But I believe this is the dog.
God, it smells like dirty dick in here. Murphy, you've been a bad
So this would be the second floor here.
boy.
And that would be, this is also the second floor. This would be the stairs that would lead you up to the third floor, obviously.
God, it's 9:10. Guys, can anybody drive me?
And I believe this is the bathroom.
Guys, I'm fucking late for my meeting. I'm supposed to be there 10 minutes ago. Did anybody do their chores today? Fuck, I'm just gonna do it.
And so here's the living room. And if we see there is the stairs that take you down to the first floor here.
Oh, shit, you guys. It's 8. Gotta go. Jake's calling. Oh, Jake's calling. Oh my god, I look horrid. Oh, Murphy, you look so cute. Get out of here. You seriously gotta get out of here. You're fucking stinking this shit out. Okay, guys, I know I talk about myself a lot, but, what would you guys do in my situation? Dana, where are you going? You guys gotta go pull your ass. Hey, I'm solo already.
Is there do a wine night? Let's just do a wine night.
Yo, is it okay to have a party? Just 3 or 4 people at most.
Think anyone would drink wine?
I'll have some wine.
I didn't even think of it, really, because, I'm not a big drinker, but maybe I should have something.
You're not a big drinker?
Stop. Before you do any holiday shopping.
Anyway, that's tough to see that. Okay, what is that? One more thing. So, and then the only other thing that they talked about was the expanding of the basically the crime scene, and that they moved from just beyond the home to the parking lot. Here you can see them checking out some tire marks. And then another scene here, we're just outside the parking lot on the road, which I believe is, this is King Road here. Or is this Queen Road? I think this might be Queen Road. I'll have to look. Or they're looking at some more, so you can kind of see some tire treads that somebody maybe peeled out. So hopefully that is something that if the killer did drive, hopefully that'll give him a decent lead, because we're at what? So that was the 13th. Today's the 20. Today's the 25th, 24th. It's been 12 days. 12 days. All right. So quickly to take a break from all the negative, and then we'll switch over to Delphi. We started a new thing called Crazy and Useless Facts of the Day. So we'll quickly do that real quick. Oh, I turned my mic on. Yeah, I'm looking into Terry's asking, was Jackass the guy from the food truck video? I can't remember. It's Jack. I believe so. I said, I think there's 3 or 4 tracks. Steve from True Crime Web says, that is an interesting photograph in the road with the CSI. Maybe we'll take another look at that. Man, I wish I could have Steve on. I haven't had Steve on regarding this case. For those that might be newer to the channel, Steve from True Crime Web, he's former law enforcement, and we have him on the show quite often to oh, sorry, started lagging right there. Mods, let me know if how everything's going. That was really weird. Everything just kind of lagged right there for a second. But yeah, we love Steve. Sorry. So quickly, crazy facts, just to kind of lighten the mood for a moment. So in the 1800s, the term Black Friday was used in reference to the stock market crashes. So before it was, a holiday shopping, it was actually used back in the 1800s, but it wasn't actually used for shopping until 1905. There was a Santa Claus parade that they had in Canada. And then 1924, Macy's premiered the first Thanksgiving Day parade. And then that's when they started having Black Friday. Crazy fact is Black Friday is the busiest day of the year for plumbers. And that is for local businesses, because everybody's at the stores clocking up the toilets and stuff. So it's pretty crazy. Let's see, where's the other one? Black Friday was once tried to be coined Big Friday. That was by, what was that? So in 1961, a newspaper tried to rename it Big Friday, just because they thought Black Friday sounded, but I guess it didn't stick. So no Big Fridays. So Black Friday. And number 6, Black Friday was officially claimed to be the busiest shopping day of the year until 2001. That was actually kind of surprising. Usually, it was the Saturday before Christmas that was the busiest day of the year. Black Friday is now over 15 countries. And what was the other one? Oh, yeah. In 2011, Walmart broke the tradition of Black Friday. I do remember this. So the tradition of Black Friday shopping was broken when Walmart opened up its store on the evening of Thanksgiving. So instead of have to deal with everybody camping out the night before and freezing to death, they would just open up or I guess even just keep the store open, and then once it hit midnight or whatever, they would release the deals and stuff. So, and then let's see, 12% of Black Friday shoppers are drunk. What's that wrong with? And then I was trying to find, there was one about Cyber Monday when it started, but yeah, Cyber Monday is what I prefer. Jeffer says, I shop online for even for groceries, yeah. I don't think so, but it's getting close. I don't know. We'd have to look that up. So anyway, some crazy interesting facts of the day. I thought we would, since it's Black Friday, I thought we'd go over some interesting facts about Black Friday. So switching over to Delphi. Close that. So they had just the other day the hearing for the probable cause affidavit. Let's see where to start. Let's look at some clips from the defense attorneys and what they thought of the hearing, which was kind of the first hearing where we actually got to see Richard Allen being brought into court for the first time in his bulletproof vest. And so here are the guys that are representing Richard Allen.
Time with them, really meaningful time, so that's just not something I can comment on.
What do you think about the prosecutor saying they have good reason to believe that he's not the only one involved in this?
Yeah, those comments certainly caught my ear, but again, it's too early to comment.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I think I got half of that right. Oops. So Ethan's frat brother. Okay, that's right, because it's... Okay, sorry. I know we moved on, but I did want to write that. Okay. So Jackass is the neighbor, aka the hoodie guy. Okay. So I mean, that kind of makes sense with him kind of knowing the girls and kind of shadowing them, I guess.
On those kind of things, just because we don't really have enough information, and I don't think that's professionally prudent to just start, throwing thoughts around without really having.
So he has obviously two attorneys. We've got Rosie and Baldwin. This is Rosie, not Rozzy.
The discovery in its entirety.
Does the PC document reflect that?
I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay.
That's exactly what we were just dealing with.
Would you all just say your name for the record, please? Sonia.
I feel like I'm in a courtroom.
Sorry, just
my
for
name
our
is
camera.
Brad Rosie. It's pronounced It's pronounced Rosie, not Rozzy. I'm not going to get into all the nuances. But there are Rozzies around too.
So that we get it right, spell your last name.
R-O-Z-Z-I.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to have her sign it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, speaking of the dog, if the dog was roaming free through the home, the crime scene would have been contaminated. Took longer to process, I imagine. Great show, by the way. Thank you, Sensei Wackadoodle. I love that name. Yeah, I'm assuming probably maybe was held in a room. Because most people sleep with their animals. The animals sleep with, So I can imagine it was probably secluded to one room.
I need to get a longer one for you. Go to.
Ooh.
I think. I couldn't see the second one really.
Sorry, trying to catch up, but Steve makes a great point. Maybe why the other two victims weren't harmed is tiring from fighting multiple people, and maybe kind of got freaked out, and that's why the other two didn't weren't attacked. That's a great point.
But this one is the one.
Okay. So I'm going to play a different one that's got better sound to it. But before I play that, I'm going to play something that was released yesterday, which is, and where did it go? Oh, here it is. It's sitting right in front of me.
Although their testimony wasn't allowed. Why did they not allow? Is it okay on video? Why is it that they didn't allow the media to?
Okay, it's gonna get loud here in a second.
Will she take that into consideration?
She should.
Okay.
So they filed a motion to intervene, and she's gonna kind of explain some of that.
There is a requirement under the public access statute that the public be permitted to participate and testify, but the judge made a statement that she'd be deciding this under the court rules, which don't give us a right to testify.
Well, my question about that is because the victim's family was able to present a petition that was signed by 40,000 people. Okay, so but there are also people that may want this released as well. So for them to have that, but not for members of the media, which I think that you represent us all watching, how is that fair?
Well, so the media does represent the public. The media is the surrogate of the public to oversee the government. It's not fair. I would imagine that the court.
Sorry, is that a little low for you guys? That might be. I didn't realize that she was talking so soft. I may play just a short version of this. The prosecutor is the McLeland. He's the prosecutor. The judge is France Gull, and I've got pictures of them, so I'll go over that CY's here in just a minute. But she is from Denton Law Firm. This is Margaret, and I think it's Julie Melvin that's interviewing her, and they're just kind of asking her about the motion that they filed, which is basically just kind of something for the media to be involved, because usually you have two parties involved: the the defendant, and the other side, and so this is to involve another party, which is social media, or the media, not social media, the media in general.
Find that the petition from the victims and from the 40,000 signatures is irrelevant to the APRA factors.
Very low. Okay.
Certainly, the victims' privacy and the sanctity of what has happened to them is it's important, but it's also very important to make sure that the state is following proper procedures to get the right person and to bring justice.
Right, and I think it goes without saying, nobody wants to compromise the integrity of the investigation or bring people up for harm that are in the affidavit, but they can redact some of those names and still give public
Precisely, yes,
still give us access.
Because even the prosecutor suggested redaction as a potential alternative.
Yeah, because I think he knows that.
Anyway, she interviews her. I did not realize that was so soft. It's kind of a bummer, but she just kind of explains that they filed this motion to intervene, and then she just kind of goes on to explain what it was like to see Richard Allen in the courtroom, and then kind of what happened, because not everybody got to see what, got seats, and so didn't get to actually see what happened in court. So let's see, let me jump to. So obviously, this part of this hearing was for the probable cause affidavit. So how long does Judge Francis Gold, or Fran Gold, have to make a decision on this affidavit? France Gold has 30 days to make a decision on the probable cause affidavit. And so the hearing was on the 22nd. And then obviously you have kind of a holiday break with, Thanksgiving. And then today's the 25th. I'm assuming no court today just because of the holidays. I would go on a limb and say maybe either the second or third week, just because I don't know if you'd want to release it just before Christmas. That's just my thoughts on it. But I've seen a lot of people on Reddit think that either the last week or the first full week of December is the most likely scenario. Let's see. Let's check in chat. So some other interesting things. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So one of the things that was interesting about prosecution is, so you have prosecuting attorney McLeland here, who says that there is more than one person involved in the double homicide. So who helped Richard Allen? So would it be Kegan Kline, Tony Kline, Ron Logan, or some kind of other party, unknown party that we haven't heard of? And so this might surprise some of you guys, but I'm just kind of going off some of the things that have been talked about. I don't think it's either the Klines or Logan. I think there's going to be somebody else. If there is another person involved, I think there's going to be somebody else we haven't heard of. Only because, and I only say this because the defense attorney for Richard Allen didn't seem to know much about Kegan Kline. And I just felt like for someone that's just coming into this, and if those two were working together, I just feel like there'd be information that he knows, and they would have talked about Kline. So that's just kind of my 2 cents. I could be completely wrong. It could be Kegan Kline, it could be Tony. But my theory is it'll be another unknown party, but they do have connections between Kegan and Richard. Possibly, part of a pedo ring or something. But that's just my 2 cents on that. Danger Dave says, I don't think clients are Ron Logan. Yes, yeah, I'd have to agree. I feel like there's going to be, if there's another party involved, I think it's going to be somebody we haven't heard of. Just in my opinion. So what is in the probable cause affidavit? So obviously we don't know much. This hasn't been released yet, but according to Attorney McLeland, there are multiple witness statements. And this is the thing that's really interesting, is some who are underage at the time of the double homicide, and then others or other who is currently underage. I think that's very interesting. And then according to the defense attorney, in this PC affidavit, there's no mention of any other parties involved. And he thinks it's a weak / flimsy case against Richard Allen. which is interesting because since there's no mention of any other parties in the probable cause, but yet the prosecution claims that there's others involved. So the curious question is, as far as the witnesses, so in what context do these witnesses know Richard? Is it via the Monon High Bridge? Like, are some of these witnesses from there that did the bridge? Or is this like social media, like a Snapchat thing, like Kegan Kline, where there's he was talking with underage girls? Because that kind of is what it sounds like in some sense. Yeah, Momel says they charged him with felony M, which could mean he was an actual killer. Yeah, his particular charges are really something that's like if multiple people are involved in a bank robbery and that there's a murder involved, and if you're like the driver but you're just sitting in the car, you know, you're just the getaway driver, but yet the other two that go in and rob the bank and then things go south and they accidentally they shoot somebody and kill somebody, they can still charge the driver with the same thing, basically what they are charging Richard Allen with. So that is interesting. Jennifer believes KK and TK, yeah. Yeah, I think Bridge Guy, I think for it's good possibility he is Bridge Guy. Of course, they are refurbishing, remodeling the Monon High Bridge. And thanks for the picture, courtesy of Steve from True Crime Web. It's actually kind of a beautiful picture. It's weird. Like, I know it's got bad history, but with the snow and it's, I don't know. It's a great picture though. So they are refurbishing it, and here's just kind of what it looked like before. I think I got a couple extra pictures too, and let's see. Oops. Here's another one. Not as it's kind of out of focus photo, but looks like it's getting a little bit wider. And yeah. So some people think that they're doing that for when it goes to trial for jury to go and come to the crime scene. Okay, so I'm going to play just a little bit of Baldwin, and if you guys haven't seen this, I mean, this is typical defense.
Somebody to help us out because
I apologize for the shaky camera. This is the one with the best audio, and this is the full video. All the other ones are short videos. This is the full thing. It's just 6 minutes. Yeah, so I mean, typical defense strategy. SP, I don't think Tony TK has been eliminated by law enforcement from what I hear from my Peru peeps. Interesting. It certainly wouldn't surprise me, just because looking at some prior addresses, and Richard Allen did grew up in that area. We'll take a look at that. We'll play just a little bit more, and we'll look up where he kind of grew up and just how close he was to the Klines. Now, obviously, it's a small town, so they would be just like Delphi. It's not very big, but still, it's pretty eerily close. Yeah, so most people think this will be released. Even Doug Carter said it wouldn't hurt the investigation. As a matter of fact, when they did this hearing, the prosecution did actually have a redacted version of what they felt was acceptable to release, I guess, to the public. So it looks like they've already kind of prepared for a version that the prosecution feels comfortable with releasing to the public. So, like I said, Judge Gohl has 30 days, from what I understand, to make a decision. And the latest is the 22nd of December. All right, let's see if I got it here. Do I got it in this one? So they are 4 years apart. So Richard Allen and Tony Kline. Tony Kline is 4 years older, so I don't think obviously they would have been going to the same school. But do I have? Maybe I don't have a picture of it. That's okay. I can pull up where it's Kline at. Where are you? Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay, so you have the search of the Wabash River here, and there was a residence that he did have, that he lived, which is approximately right about in this area, which is only about 4 minutes away from the house in Peru that Tony and Kegan were living. Well, I guess it would have been, yeah, it would have been Tony and Kegan. So he was living in an area that was only 4 minutes away from his when Richard was much younger. So they could have met, maybe Tony, and then maybe later on kept in touch and then got into some nefarious activities, possibly. And let's see, there's one more thing I was going to show you. Where is it? Let me check the chat real quick here. Yeah, that's a great. I think we all need to take this defense lawyer's say with a pinch of salt. Yeah, that's what he's there. I mean, it is to create doubt, and stand up for his man. She went to Peru. Yeah, so I think his someone said his former wife or sister might have went to school with Richard Allen. I'm still looking into that. That's what it was. Yeah, Kegan's mom. Yeah, Robin. That's right. Yeah, I believe Allen went to school with Kegan's mom, Robin. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. So anyway, to quickly recap everything that we went over today. Let's see, what time did I start? So it's almost an hour and a half. So just to quickly recap. So on the Idaho Students, still no suspects. There is a video, like I said, that by this Johnny Law. I've got the link to that video in the description. It's quite well done, and he just kind of goes through each floor kind of describes the floor plan, and then he's kind of got pictures mixed in with these floor plans that he's got detailed out here. And he just goes floor to floor, just kind of describing the layout of everything. And that's how I think it's kind of interesting. Just kind of get an idea of where. I mean, I would assume maybe the killer came in through the second floor slider door. There was a photo of the one of the screens was knocked out, but I don't know if that was here's is it this one here? Yeah, you can actually see here there is a screen. Let's see, is my head in the way? There is a screen to a window. It's actually sitting out. Not sure which window it go to. It could be this one here. Which so this would lead into the kitchen here. But you do have a screen here. And what's the other thing? Oh, yeah, here's just a different kind of look at the home from a kind of a drone view here. Just kind of interesting. I don't know if you can. Oh yeah, and you can still see that same screen kind of sitting out right here. You guys can see it. So there is that screen here. But they did say no forced entry, so maybe that was just kind of sitting there. They kind of tossed it. Miss Dog Lover, R.A. in court reminded me of the Golden State Killer, hunched over and looking vulnerable to make people feel sorry for him. Oh, yeah, Golden State Killer. Oh, my gosh, he was pathetic. Sitting there in a wheelchair. The thing about the Golden State Killer is before he was brought into court, so less than a month, before you see him sitting in a wheelchair all frail during the COVID pandemic, is that he was out riding his motorcycle, apparently. So I thought it was kind of interesting that he's sitting there being wheeled around in a wheelchair. Yet he was supposedly driving a motorcycle a month prior to that. Thank you so much, Miss Dog Lover, for the 449 supporting this channel. We do have some big news, so don't go anywhere just yet. And thank you so much, Josh the Posh 63, for becoming a member. I do have a members video coming out right after this. Probably it'll take me about maybe an hour or two to upload it, with some interesting little updates. Right now, because it's kind of winter and the holidays, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But as you guys, for those that have been with me for a while, not only do I cover true crime, but we try to go out and actually, help people. I've been involved with the Dylan Rounds case, but we're trying to do just more Dylan Rounds. And also, we're going to be working with Steve from True Crime Web a lot more. And he is actually already been involved in some cold cases and helping some families out and trying to help them seek justice. And so, as you guys, I'm sure if you've heard Delphi Murders, we'll just pull it up since we're going to be talking about it for just a second. But I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the Evansdale Murders. And it's such a terrible case. It's been now 10 years. So you can only imagine with how happy the family, that they're, for Libby and Abby, that they're starting to finally get the justice they deserve. But this family, of these two girls here, the Collins and Lyric Cook, now it's been 10 years with no justice. And so Steve has been, he's actually done a couple videos, so I'd go check it out after this. But he is getting involved in trying to help with the case. And so we are going to be having hopefully Drew, the father of Elizabeth Collins, on the show real soon. It's not set in stone yet. I don't want to say too much without talking to Steve, but he did give me the go ahead that I could mention it on this channel that we're going to be investigating this cold case, and there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes as we speak. So I'm kind of excited because, one case kind of gets traction and then hopefully it snowballs, and, hopefully Evansdale, Flora, and all these other cases that deserve just the same amount of attention as these other cases. So, yeah, and then like I said, we're going to be working with Steve, not just having him on the channel, but me and Steve are Steve's going to hopefully come out with me, and like I said, with the holidays, it's just kind of put some damper onto that. But after the holidays, hopefully we're going to have him come out, and we've got some things we want to do with Dylan Rounds, and then vice versa. I would love to go out and meet him out there in Evansdale or whatever the next cold case we pick up. So, like I said, we're trying to do more than just cover true crime. We're trying to go out and help these families. So that's why becoming a member, donating, helping this channel. Like I said, I put it all back into helping the missing, and so I really appreciate all your guys' support. You guys are amazing. So, yeah, Steve is amazing. So yeah, we're going to have some big news with Evansdale real soon, and I'll talk about that more in a members video that I'll release tonight. So anyway, just to quickly go back to recapping. So we just kind of showed the floor plan of the Idaho Students. Like I said, I've got the link in the description to that Johnny Law video if you're interested in this case and the floor plan. He's got, like I said, a 20 to 30 minute video. It's very interesting. So definitely check that out. And with the Richard Allen and the Delphi case, now it's just a waiting game with the probable cause affidavit, but I think probably next week or the week after we should see some form of the probable cause affidavit. I think so. But if the prosecution's right, there's still possibly another person involved. If it's not the Klines, or at least Kegan, they still got somebody out on the streets that they need to apprehend. So that's kind of interesting. So with that said, I think we'll end it there. I will make sure I will check out your email as soon as I get done. There you go. There's Karen with here. Let's put that at the top. It's pretty. Oh, I don't know why it won't let me. There we go. Put that in. Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, and Steve is an amazing guy. Trying to get back. Oh, here we go. I came over from True Crime Web. I appreciate your content. Oh, thanks so much, Josh Saposh, for the $5. And I said every little bit helps. We put right back into helping the missing. So let me just see. Yeah, it is an odd-shaped house for sure. If screen was suspected, it would have been secured and transferred to evidence locker. So yeah, probably just an old screen that got busted out or something. Yeah, I think Steve usually goes lives Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Yeah, I think 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. And we'll be doing a lot of collabing with him, so super excited for that. So with that, I would just want to say happy holidays to you guys. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch the channel. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Dell asks, just curious about your investigative background. I am just a regular average Joe that just got lucky of covering true crime and people watch. But I have no background, but I do have the passion and desire to help people. And I was blessed to have built this platform. And so I figure the best way to give back is to do side projects and go out and help look for the missing. So, but working with Steve has helped me out a lot, kind of show me a little bit of the ropes of the law enforcement side of things, but I got a long way to go. So, all right, guys, I will get the pet outro ready. We'll probably have a new one maybe in a week or so. So I love you guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.